Time now for Utah's most accurate forecast. Weather Rate certified 11 years in a row.
All right, Bob, a nice day today, but noticeably cooler.
Yeah, much cooler. We dropped a lot. I'll tell you more about that because, well, that's my #1 headline there. Much cooler temperatures, blustery winds throughout our state. We've got storms that are moving their way in the southeast, flash flood potential, even a couple flash floods that are just wrapping up right now. So we'll be keeping track of all that. But here's your temperatures right now. You can see 60s for a lot of the states, some 70s, 90 in St. George, but that temperature dropped. Look at this. We dropped 12 degrees from 24 hours ago in in Salt Lake. Moab dropped 15 degrees, 8. You just see them all over. St. George held on at -1, but it was cold, and it's just going to be a little cold for the next few days. As this storm, you can see that swirling pattern that's going on right now, and you can take a look. These are the storms that are going on right now in that southeastern portion. But if we continue on, you can see they're continue on through the evening on into tomorrow morning. Those storms are just going to stay in that area for a little while, even getting large at times. Then Saturday night, we'll start to see creeping up into the south, because Sunday morning we will see all across southern Utah those storms continuing on as that pattern just continues, that swirl. Even by Sunday night, some heavy storms going on that southeastern point of our state. But then Monday starts to clear up. You'll see that pattern starting to change now. You see the winds coming a little differently. It's going to blow that out and give us a little bit of a more mostly sunny pattern through the entire state as we continue on through the rest of the week. We just got to get through there. But we are starting to see those fall colors, and you can see as we look at our map here, kind of down through that central area and down into southern, those leaves are going to be changing, patchy in those orange places, that red, we're starting to get partial. So if you want to get up into the mountains, take a look at this. We've got tonight, tomorrow, Sunday, going to be around 57, slight chance of rain on that Saturday, but a good chance to get out and see stuff like this. Scott Taylor sending us that beautiful picture. But our national parks, got to be very careful there, especially as Sunday, as we're going to be seeing heavy rains through a lot of the national parks. So we're going to be having to keep an eye on that. And other recreational places you might go to, Park City looking great, about 66, but not much of the storms coming through there. So watch out what you're doing. And our Beehive Blitz, where we're going to have our kickoff here in just a little bit. 68 degrees, going to be nice and cool. 60 by the time we get fourth quarter, but Wesley Ruff is still going to be in shorts on the sideline there. You can definitely count on that. Region-wise, you can see wherever you are going to be colder than what you're used to. Price at 66, Cedar City 74, overnight lows in the 40s, 50s, a couple 60s. But along our Wasatch Front, you can see no real storms coming up, possibly on Saturday, but breezy conditions still continuing in the 70s throughout. And if we go down to St. George, you can see 90s are pretty much going to rule the way here, with a slight chance of that rain coming in on Sunday. But tomorrow looking good, if not cool, for our St. George Marathon. Going to start off about 63 degrees and then start making its way up by about noon, about 77 degrees. And we have our own Matt Bello standing live right there in St. George. I know you got your running shoes on, Matt. How is everyone feeling about the St. George Marathon?
They're excited, I think. When we were passing down, actually, we did hit a huge flash-like flood-like thing just north of Cedar City, so glad we made it through that. But it is beautiful and sunny here, and let's hope it stays nice and warm, because runners around the world are here for the 46th annual St. George Marathon. They've got runners from dozens of countries and all 50 states. Now, there's a lot of energy going on. There's over 6,000 runners checking in tonight to get their bibs. They're grabbing some running essentials here at the Dixie Convention Center, and just enjoy the final hours before waking up like 3 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. Yep, I'm one of those crazy people. And I've spoken to a few runners this afternoon. The consensus is excitement, but definitely some pre-race jitters, because the race does begin at 7 a.m. up in Central, and it's just north of St. George for those that don't know. And then the course is a steady up and down along Highway 18, passes next to the beautiful Snow Canyon State Park before you finish in downtown at the Vernon Worthen Park. And many repeat runners are saying that this is the most beautiful marathon that they ever run. So we're going to have the full coverage tomorrow night on ABC4 News at 10. We're going to have some the race results as well. So make sure you tune in for that. And I'm going to send it back to you over there in the studio, Glenn. It's Matt Bello, ABC4 News.